Most people assume a home stops staying tidy because they've lost discipline or motivation. But for many seniors, that quiet frustration starts for a different reason altogether. The routines that once worked effortlessly don't quite fit anymore. What used to feel simple now takes extra steps, extra reaching, extra patience. That doesn't mean anything is wrong. It means life has shifted, and the home hasn't caught up yet. That's exactly where Leonard Whitcomb found himself. He's 73, living independently in Pennsylvania, proud of keeping a neat home. From the outside, everything looked organized. But every few days, the same clutter reappeared in the same places. Papers on the table, items left out just for now, small piles that seemed to form on their own. One quiet evening, Leonard paused and noticed something important. The problem wasn't that he'd stopped caring. It was that putting things away now required more effort than it used to, and his home was no longer working with him. That realization led to a powerful question. What if the real secret to staying organized in 2026 isn't trying harder, but changing where things live so order happens naturally again? And before we go any further, if this moment already feels familiar, take a second to like this video and tap the hype button. Every hype helps more seniors recognize this shift and realize they're not alone in it. Secret 1. Place everyday items where you actually use them. One of the biggest reasons a home stops staying tidy is simple misplacement, not messiness. Over time, many homes keep items where they used to make sense, not where they fit daily life now. The most effective way to uncover this is to walk through a normal day without correcting anything. Pay attention to where your hands naturally go. Where do you set your glasses when you come in? Where does the mail land before you even think about it? Where do items pause because returning them feels like an extra chore? These spots aren't failures, they are clues. Leonard discovered that his clutter wasn't random. The same items kept appearing in the same places because those locations matched how he lived, even if they weren't officially storage. He realized he was asking himself to fight his own habits every day. Once he moved frequently used items closer to where he actually used them, something unexpected happened. The piles stopped forming. Not because he cleaned more often, but because there was no longer a reason for things to linger. This step doesn't require downsizing, labeling, or expensive organizers. It requires honesty. When storage supports your real routines, organization stops being a task and starts being automatic. You're no longer reminding yourself to put things away, your home quietly guides you to do it. Over time, this reduces daily stress, saves energy, and creates a sense of calm that makes the entire home feel easier to manage, even on days when you're tired or distracted. Many seniors notice that once this shift happens, they begin trusting their space again, because it responds naturally to how they live now instead of how life used to be. And that quiet trust is what allows order to last without constant effort. Secret 2. Move frequently used items between waist and eye level. A home can be perfectly organized on paper and still fall apart in daily life if it asks too much of your body. One of the quiet reasons clutter creeps back in is physical strain. When reaching, bending, or stretching becomes uncomfortable, even slightly, your body starts making small decisions for you. Items get set down for now. Shelves get avoided. Cabinets become storage in theory, not in practice. Over time, those small moments add up to visible disorder. This step is about listening to your body instead of pushing past it. Take a moment to notice which movements you naturally avoid during the day. Do you hesitate before bending for something low? Do you delay putting items back on a high shelf? That hesitation isn't laziness, it's information. Homes that stay tidy for seniors in 2026 are designed around comfort first, not tradition or appearance. When Leonard looked closely at his routines, he realized many of the things he used every single day were stored in places that demanded extra effort. Not extreme effort, just enough to make returning them feel optional. Once he moved those items into the space between his waist and eye level, the difference was immediate. Putting things away no longer felt like a task. It felt natural again. The clutter he used to blame on distractions simply stopped appearing. This isn't about reorganizing everything or following strict rules. It's about prioritizing ease. Items you use daily should live where your hands fall naturally, without strain or hesitation. When your home respects your body, It quietly supports better habits without reminders or motivation. The result isn't just a tidier space, it's less fatigue, fewer frustrations, and a home that feels safer and more manageable as your needs change. That kind of comfort is what allows organization to last, not just look good for a moment. Secret 3. Fix one repeating mess instead of cleaning everything. One of the most exhausting traps in home organization is the belief that everything needs attention at once. Many seniors clean an entire room, only to feel discouraged when the same small messes return days later. That cycle creates frustration and fatigue, not lasting order. The truth is, clutter is rarely spread evenly throughout a home. It usually gathers in the same few places over and over again. Those spots are not failures, they are signals. This step asks you to do something far more effective than a full clean. Identify just one place that never seems to stay tidy. It might be a table near the door, a kitchen counter corner, or a chair that slowly becomes a landing zone. Instead of cleaning the whole room, pause and study that single area. Ask what's really happening there. Is it missing a clear purpose? Is it asking you to make extra decisions? Is it too far from where items naturally land? Leonard realized his frustration wasn't with cleaning, it was with repetition. No matter how tidy the house looked, one surface always fell back into disorder. Once he stopped treating it like a discipline problem and started treating it like a design problem, everything changed. He adjusted that one space to match how it was actually being used. The result wasn't just a cleaner spot, it was relief. The mess stopped returning because the system finally made sense. By focusing on one repeating problem at a time, you conserve energy and build confidence. Each solved spot removes a source of daily irritation. Over time, those small victories add up to a home that feels manageable again. This approach keeps your space tidy without exhausting you, because you're no longer cleaning endlessly, you're fixing what truly needs fixing. Secret 4. Reduce the number of steps it takes to put something away. Many homes lose their sense of order not because items don't belong anywhere, but because returning them takes too much effort. An extra door to open. A shelf that's just a bit too high. A cabinet that requires bending and rearranging what's already inside. Each step feels small on its own, but together they create quiet resistance. On good days, you push through. On tired days, things get set down for now. And that "for now" is how clutter slowly becomes permanent. This step begins with observation, not action. Choose one everyday item, something you use without thinking, and mentally walk it back to its storage spot. Count every movement involved. Walking across the room counts. Opening a door counts. Moving other items out of the way counts. If putting it away feels more complicated than using it, your home is asking too much of you. In homes that stay organized, the easiest choice is always the tidy one. Leonard noticed a clear pattern once he paid attention. Items with a short, simple return path almost always made it back where they belonged. Items that required multiple steps quietly collected on nearby surfaces. Instead of blaming himself, he simplified those paths. He removed unnecessary barriers, shortened distances, and made storage easier to access. The change was subtle, but the impact was immediate. He stopped negotiating with himself about putting things away. It simply happened. Reducing steps doesn't mean turning your home upside down or getting rid of structure. It means adjusting storage so it matches your current energy, not your past routines. When putting something away takes one or two comfortable motions, your body follows through even when you're tired, distracted, or in a hurry. Over time, this reduces daily frustration, lowers physical strain, and restores a sense of control. A home that asks less of you is a home that stays organized quietly, without reminders, guilt, or constant effort. Secret 5. Create a single, clear entry point for paper. Paper has become one of the fastest ways a tidy home loses its order, especially for seniors today. Mail no longer comes as simple letters. It arrives as medical updates, insurance notices, banking alerts, community flyers, and forms that all feel important in the moment. When paper enters a home without a clear destination, it spreads. A piece lands on the table, another on the counter, another tucked into a bag to deal with later. Very quickly, the home feels cluttered, not because there's too much paper, but because there's no clear beginning point for it. This step is about controlling flow, not filing. The action is simple but firm. Choose one single place where every piece of paper enters your home and goes first. No sorting, no decisions, no exceptions. It might be a tray, a basket, or a specific spot on a desk. The exact location doesn't matter. What matters is that your home has one agreed-upon landing place for paper, and only one. Leonard realized his frustration didn't come from filing paperwork too rarely. It came from paper arriving everywhere. Bills showed up on the kitchen counter. Medical letters landed on the dining table. Instruction manuals ended up wherever he happened to be standing. Once he chose a single entry point, the chaos stopped spreading. Paper no longer followed him around the house. It waited for him in one predictable place. What changed wasn't how often Leonard filed, it was how calm his home felt. When paper stopped appearing randomly, surfaces stayed clear. Decisions became easier because they were contained to one moment and one location. This approach removes constant low-level stress and prevents paper from quietly taking over living spaces. In 2026, staying organized isn't about handling paperwork more often, it's about giving it a clear boundary the moment it enters your home. Secret 6. Designate one charging area for all devices. Modern homes carry a kind of clutter that didn't exist years ago: devices. Phones, tablets, e-readers, hearing aid chargers, smartwatches, remotes, and power cords quietly spread across rooms because they are used everywhere. One gets plugged in near the couch, another by the bed, another at the kitchen counter. Over time, surfaces fill with cords, adapters, blinking lights, and half-charged devices. The home may still look clean, but it feels busy, restless, and harder to relax in. This step brings order by giving technology clear boundaries. Choose one location where all phones, tablets, chargers, and accessories live and charge together. It doesn't need to be fancy or large. It can be a small table, a drawer, or a section of a shelf. What matters is consistency. When every device returns to the same place, they stop drifting around the house and pulling clutter with them. Leonard didn't realize how much low-level stress his devices created until he gathered them in one spot. Before, he was always searching. Which room was his phone in? Where did that charger go? Why was the counter suddenly full again? After setting up a single charging area, those questions disappeared. Devices stopped competing for space in living areas, and cords no longer crept across surfaces. His home felt quieter, even though nothing else had changed. This isn't about limiting technology or using devices less. It's about containment. When devices share one home, they stop fragmenting both your space and your attention. In 2026, digital clutter turns into physical clutter without notice, especially as more devices become part of daily life. A single charging area restores control, reduces visual distraction, and creates a clear endpoint to the day. That sense of closure makes it easier for the rest of your home to stay tidy, calm, and welcoming without constant effort. Secret 7. Give sentimental items a visible, intentional home. Sentimental items often create the most complicated kind of clutter, not because there are too many of them, but because they live in limbo. They are tucked away in drawers, boxes, and closets, held onto out of love, memory, or a quiet sense of responsibility. Over time, those hidden items carry emotional weight. They occupy space in the home and space in the mind, gently reminding you of stories you value and decisions you've postponed. This isn't a failure of organization, it's a sign that memories haven't been given a clear role in your daily life. The action here is gentle but deliberate. Choose a few meaningful items and give them a visible, intentional place in your home. This could be a framed photo you pass each morning, a small object on a shelf that brings comfort, or a piece that reflects a chapter of your life you're proud of. The goal isn't to create a display or turn your home into a museum. It's to let your most important memories be seen and appreciated, rather than hidden away and quietly carried. Leonard realized that many of the items he felt most attached to were stored out of sight, yet never out of mind. They contributed to clutter because they represented unresolved emotion, not excess belongings. Once he selected a handful to display thoughtfully, something changed. Those memories felt honored and complete. The rest became easier to let go of, because their meaning had already been acknowledged instead of postponed. Visible memories reduce emotional clutter by replacing guilt with intention. Instead of holding onto everything just in case, you create a small, meaningful collection that reflects who you are and what truly matters now. In 2026, organized homes for seniors don't erase the past, they integrate it with care. When sentimental items have a clear place and purpose, they stop weighing on you. The home feels lighter, calmer, and more personal, while still honoring the life that shaped it. Secret 8. Set up storage that allows drop-in organization. One of the most common reasons a home stops staying tidy is that its storage systems expect perfection. Drawers that only work if everything is folded a certain way. Shelves that look organized only when items are lined up just right. Containers that require sorting before anything can be put away. These systems may look good in theory, but they quietly fail in real life. On days when energy is low or time is short, precision becomes a barrier, and items end up resting on nearby surfaces instead. That's how clutter begins, not from neglect, but from systems that are too demanding. Drop-in organization removes that barrier. Open bins, trays, and baskets allow items to be placed without thought, sorting, or correction. You don't need to decide where something fits or how it should sit. You simply place it in. In tidy homes in 2026, storage is designed to accept reality, not fight it. This approach respects changing energy levels and makes it far easier to maintain order consistently. Leonard noticed a clear difference once he paid attention. Areas of his home that stayed tidy shared one thing in common: they were easy to reset. A tray by the door for daily items never overflowed because clearing it took seconds. Meanwhile, shelves that required careful stacking always seemed to fall apart. When he replaced rigid storage with forgiving containers, clutter stopped feeling personal. The home simply worked better. Drop-in storage also reduces mental fatigue. You're no longer asking yourself to do it properly every time you put something away. That quiet relief makes tidying feel lighter and less avoidable. Over time, this builds confidence instead of frustration. A home that allows imperfect placement doesn't become messy, it becomes resilient. And resilience is what keeps a space tidy, calm, and manageable as life continues to change. Secret 9. Reset one small area daily instead of cleaning weekly. Many seniors were taught that keeping a home tidy means setting aside a full day to clean, pushing through fatigue, finishing everything in one stretch, and then resting afterward. That approach worked when energy was stronger and recovery was quicker. But today, long cleaning sessions often leave you sore, tired, or mentally drained. When that happens, the next cleaning day feels heavier before it even starts. Slowly, cleaning turns into something to avoid, and clutter builds not because you don't care, but because the task feels too big to face all at once. Resetting one small area each day offers a completely different rhythm. Instead of asking your body for endurance, you ask for a few calm minutes. Choose one surface, one drawer, or one small space and return it to neutral. That might mean clearing a table, straightening a shelf, or putting a handful of items back where they belong. There's no pressure to keep going. One reset is enough. This approach keeps disorder from spreading and removes the feeling that everything needs attention at the same time. Leonard found that daily resets changed how he related to his home. He stopped waiting for the right day or the right amount of energy. Even on slower days, he could reset one small area and feel settled. That sense of completion mattered more than he expected. It replaced the pressure of unfinished work with reassurance. Over time, clutter stopped accumulating because it never had the chance to grow into something overwhelming. What makes this work is how it builds momentum without strain. Each small reset reinforces the idea that your home is manageable. You begin to trust that order can be maintained gently, without pushing yourself past your limits. In 2026, tidy homes aren't maintained through willpower or long cleaning days. They're maintained through steady, repeatable moments of care that protect your energy and keep your space calm, comfortable, and ready for everyday living. Secret 10. Adjust your home to match who you are now. One of the most overlooked reasons a home stops staying tidy is that it's still arranged for a version of life that has quietly passed. Many spaces were set up years ago for routines that no longer exist: full workdays, busy schedules, frequent hosting, or physical demands that felt effortless at the time. When life changes but the home doesn't, disorder isn't a surprise. Items feel out of place because, in truth, the space no longer fits the way the day actually unfolds. The action here is thoughtful and contained. Identify one space in your home that feels slightly off, not broken, just mismatched. It might be a desk that once served a full-time job, a dining area arranged for gatherings that rarely happen now, or a room holding supplies for activities you no longer do regularly. Instead of forcing yourself to maintain that setup, gently update the space so it reflects how you live today. This could mean removing what no longer serves you, repositioning furniture, or redefining the purpose of the room entirely. Leonard discovered that one of his most cluttered areas wasn't messy by accident. It was holding onto an old routine. Once he acknowledged that his days had changed, the solution became clear. He adjusted the space to support what his life actually looked like now, not what it used to be. Almost immediately, the clutter stopped returning. The room no longer fought him. It worked with him. Homes stay tidy when they evolve alongside the people who live in them. In 2026, organization isn't about preserving old systems out of habit or obligation. It's about alignment. When your home reflects your current rhythm, priorities, and energy, order becomes easier to maintain. That's the real secret behind a tidy and organized home. It adapts as you do, offering support, comfort, and calm instead of resistance as life continues to change. When you look back over everything we've talked about, one truth stands out clearly. A tidy and organized home in 2026 is not built through big cleanouts, strict rules, or exhausting weekend projects. It's built through small, supportive changes that respect your energy, your routines, and the stage of life you're in right now. The homes that stay organized aren't the ones where people try harder, they're the ones that quietly ask less. When your space supports you, order becomes natural instead of forced. This matters right now because many seniors carry a silent sense of frustration or self-blame. When a home no longer stays tidy, it's easy to assume you've fallen behind or lost your touch. But that belief is unfair and untrue. Life has changed, bodies change, rhythms change, priorities change, and most homes were never designed to adjust on their own. Once you stop blaming yourself and start adjusting your space, something powerful happens. Confidence returns. Calm returns. And everyday life begins to feel lighter again. That's why this message deserves to be seen and shared. If this video struck a chord with you, take a moment to tap the hype button. Hype isn't about trends or popularity, it's about lifting voices that matter. You get 3 free hypes every week, and each one helps senior-focused wisdom rise on a platform that often moves too fast to notice it. Hyping this video helps other seniors discover that they are not alone and that ease is still possible. While you're here, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might need reassurance more than another list of chores. And if you feel comfortable, leave a comment. Your experience matters. Your perspective matters. This community grows stronger when seniors support one another with honesty and understanding. Most of all, remember this: you are not behind. You haven't failed. Nothing is wrong with you. Your home simply needs to catch up with who you are now. And when it does, organization stops feeling like work and starts feeling like care, steady, gentle, and fully within reach.